Hello and welcome to the relaunch of the Health and Reflections podcast. Although if you're a new listener or watching from YouTube, then welcome to the first episode of this podcast. I am so excited to be back and be back on track with this podcast. I felt so disconnected from it, and I didn't like what I had uploaded. I just didn't resonate with the content that was already on the podcast. So I decided to do a reevaluation of everything and make some decisions, think of how I was going to upload the podcast episodes, if it was going to be just audio, if it was just going to be on YouTube. So it's going to be both. So yeah, I'm really excited to be back, and I wanted to start by saying thank you for being here and for tuning in. This makes me really happy, and I'm so grateful for this. So yeah, I'm going to use this episode as an introduction of what this podcast is going to be about, and also to talk a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me, and yeah, what you guys can expect from this show. So it's going to be a little bit of a trailer, but longer. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Finoula, although a lot of people call me Fincy. I'm from the south of Spain, and I am currently living here in Brussels with my partner, where I am doing my PhD on cancer research. So I am really obsessed with everything that has to do with having an anti-cancer lifestyle, with a keto diet, with womb health and self-love. And these are mainly the topics that you will hear me talking about on this podcast, on my YouTube channel, and my other social media platforms. I also like to talk a lot about self-care, self-development, self-improvement, and how I am trying to create my dream life. So apart from sharing tips and sharing my knowledge regarding these topics, I also like to share a little bit of my journey towards creating my dream life, so you can have an idea or feel inspired. So for you guys to know a little bit of the story, everything started in 2017 back in London, where I was doing my master on cancer research. And there I said to myself, okay, I really have still a long journey in my career, because I want to specialize in cancer, and it's just such a broad field that it really requires a lot of years to really, get the knowledge that I want for my future goal, like career goal. So I said, okay, I know that this is going to take me a very long time, but I want already to start helping people in some way. So I did a little research, and I saw that there was a big possibility, of blogging. So I created a blog, and there I started by sharing foods that I really think have anti-cancer properties. And then, I had a friend saying, I don't care how much you talk about the health benefits of a certain food, that if I don't like that food, I'm just not going to have it. So I need to get inspired by how you have it. So the idea of creating the YouTube channel happened. And at first it was a lot about smoothies and recipes. But to the recent years, around 2019, 2020, that I just didn't resonate with creating recipes. I am not a professional chef, and really cooking is not my thing. Like, I cook fast to the point and to get the food done, and that's it. I don't take the time into creating it in a good way. So it didn't resonate with me just posting about smoothies and the recipes itself. I don't mind sharing what smoothies and the ingredients and what dishes I have and the ingredients to have a healthy diet and an anti-cancer one. So I don't mind sharing this, but I really wanted to be part of a bigger topic rather than just the recipe itself. So yeah, so everything started to be like an reevaluation. My blog is no longer a blog. It's like a proper website when you can see the different things that I cover. Then the YouTube channel was slowly developing into new type of videos, new type of content, And then I think it was 2019 that I decided to start my podcast. But still, it wasn't defined. I just knew that there was another platform where I wanted to share this knowledge so that other people could also hear. Because I know some people love Instagram, others hate it, other people love YouTube, others hate it. And then there's people that just want to listen to podcasts rather than watching the video or seeing the content on other social media platforms. So that is how it all kind of developed. So yeah, right now I am doing my PhD at the same time that I'm trying to build my business. Slowly with help, because I realized that I cannot do everything by myself. And this is something that I really want to share, because at the beginning, when I created my website and my YouTube and my podcast and I started doing my PhD, I was like, I can do this. If I put the time, the effort, and I'm patient, I can do everything. But no, really, no. The PhD takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And for any of you that have any other job, the work has to be done and it takes a lot of time, and to do it well also. So yeah, I really got to a point when I saw that I really needed help and that I couldn't do this alone. So I've got a marketing manager and a YouTube podcast editor that are helping me with this dream of mine to create my business. So yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm doing my PhD and I'm building my business and I'm trying to create my healthy dream life, and hopefully I will inspire, help and motivate others, which is what I want. So one of my goals from the very beginning was to be as real as possible. I do not only want to post about the good about life and only the good things that happen in my life, because that is not real and that is not really what life is about. Life is everything together. The good parts, the exciting parts, the successes, but also how many times we fell down, how many times we cried, everything bad that happens to us, that is also part of life. So I really want to share everything as real as possible for you to feel inspired and also for you to relate with this, because creating the life of your dreams is a beautiful journey, but also it can get really hard and tough sometimes. And what we do to confront those hard situations is really important. And sometimes we just feel lost and stuck. So I think it's really important to have inspiration and motivation from others. I myself try to follow people and get inspired by people that show also the bad parts of their lives and share how they go through those situations and get better. So that's why I'm really obsessed with self-improvement, self-love, self-care, and self-development. I think it's a really important part of our life journey. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people are really ashamed to say that they had bad days or that they're going through a tough situation in life. And really, this shouldn't be like this, because it is okay to be in a situation where you're feeling really down, or it's okay to admit that you're pushing yourself really hard, or that you have gone or are going through depression. It's really okay to say it, and you shouldn't feel ashamed. I do understand completely if you want to keep your life private. That's completely okay and understandable, but it's different to feeling ashamed about something and then thinking that you cannot share that because, oh my God, what are they going to think, right? That I'm in depression. Like, no, it's okay. We're humans. We go through situations in life where we're going to feel really, really bad. A lot of you already know this, the ones that have been following me for a while. I went through depression, and I'm not scared or ashamed to say this. I was in a point where I was in a really bad relationship, and this bad relationship really got me. And I was in depression. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was sleeping awfully bad. And I needed the help of a therapist to really overcome all this and heal and really be myself again and see really what I wanted to do in my life. So it was not thanks to that, but it was really in that moment where I said, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Because in college, it was all about the party, being with friends. I would not care what I ate or the habits that I had. So I think it was really in 2016, because this depression was like 7 or 8 years ago. But in 2016, I was really the first time that I said, it's enough. I need to change something. And it was more towards 2017 that I started thinking about my diet and my fitness. Mainly those two were I really want to focus on this. So I took more into consideration the foods, the vitamins. Do I want to take protein powder? How is my fitness routine? Do I want to work out at home? Do I want to run? Do I want to go to the gym? So I started by there. And so I started by creating a diet and a fitness routine that I liked. But I still would sleep really, really bad. I didn't care about my sleep cycle. I would wake up really, really late unless I had classes in my master. It wasn't until 2018 that I started learning about how important our sleep is and the impact in our health that it can have if it's a bad sleep quality and a bad sleeping cycle. And at that point in the 2018, I also learned a lot about the keto diet and how carbs, and more than carbs itself, how the amount of carbs that we had in a day could affect our health. I'm sharing this with you for you guys to see that it's really a long process, and it's not that one day I just decided to be healthy and the best healthy version of myself, and it just happened. And I was suddenly waking up super early, having the perfect diet, having the perfect fitness routine, and having all the healthy habits that I wanted in my life. No, really, no. It was just healthy diet and fitness routine. And then 2-3 years later, then I started thinking about how I wanted to sleep, the importance of sleeping, and then what healthy habits I wanted to incorporate. So really 7 years ago, for me to recover from my depression, not only I needed the help of my such lovely therapist, but also I learned about yoga and meditation. And I really wanted to know, okay, how do these two practices really affect our health? How can they help us to be better? And it really helped me. And still to today, yoga and meditation are a must in my life. But at that point, I only thought that they were necessary for me to recover from depression. I would practice them all the time to recover. But it wasn't really until 2018, 19, right when I was learning about healthy habits, sleeping, that I saw that these two practices, yoga and meditation, really had to be incorporated forever. And I started learning about the science behind them, how they actually impact our health and how they're not only to help us with reducing stress and anxiety and also recovering from tough situations. But also, if you have them as a daily practice, you can use them to learn your feelings and your emotions, how to deal with them and to be aware of them and where are they coming from. So I was just really mesmerized by this. And so this is just me really showing you how everything is a process, everything is a journey, and everything doesn't just happen overnight. It just takes time and also a lot of learning, because one of the most important things for me is to really understand why you want to do certain things. So when I discovered that waking up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning was super healthy, and I wanted to do it, but I really wanted to understand why it was healthy. It's this kind of things that I really am trying to share my knowledge through all my different social media platforms. So in 2018, as I just mentioned, I really started learning about the keto diet and its relationship with cancer. So of course, as the more I specialized in my cancer career, the more obsessed I became with it. And then I said, I really want to have an anti-cancer lifestyle. So I started investigating really all the habits that can lead to cancer. The keto diet, I learned about it, but also I used to smoke. Not I wasn't a heavy smoker, but it was really a social smoker. So every single time that I was with a friend or there was a drink, cocktail or wine or whatever it was, there was a cigarette on my hand. So I was not addicted to it. I didn't, in my daily life, I didn't wake up and be ooh, I needed a cigarette. But whenever I was out with friends, I would have a cigarette in my hand. And I was this needs to change. But still, I learned about that in 2018. And it wasn't until 2020 in the quarantine that I said, now, no social gatherings, no more smoking. So I stopped smoking in March 2020. And then I remember we had a party in July 2020 to say goodbye to one of my, he's my best friend. He's like my brother. I remember that night, I was drinking and then I wanted to smoke. So I smoked. The next day was horrible. I have never, ever felt so horribly bad in my life. I felt so nauseous. I had no voice. My throat was so red and swollen and disgusting. And that was never again. Never again will I pick up a cigarette. And I haven't since that moment. And it's my body repels it because of what happened that night. So disgusting. This is another example of how slowly I was self-improving and self-developing into the person that I wanted to be regarding my health. And still till today, I'm still working on creating the life that I want. I'm still working really hard on not having cravings. I'm working really hard of not having a hormonal imbalance. I'm working really hard on having my stress and my anxiety under control rather having them controlling me. So this is why I'm sharing this with you. By no means I want you to think that my life is perfect. Yes, overall, I'm healthy and happy, but yes, I have my bad days and I have my cheat days and I have my days where I'm bring the pizza. But overall, I'm working really, really hard because I truly believe in being healthy, right? It's such a powerful impact to our bodies and to our life. But I really believe in trusting the process and taking baby steps and doing every single thing at your own space and time and not comparing yourselves with others because every single person is different. I really want to use these platforms to share my knowledge and some advices and my personal experience, and that we can all gather together into creating our healthy dream life and be inspired and motivated by each other. So yes, this podcast is called Health Reflections. So obviously we're going to do a lot of reflections about health topics. So apart from the obvious health topics, we are going to focus on anti-cancer lifestyle. And I think this is already quite obvious. I'm obsessed with having an anti-cancer lifestyle. And the more I learn in my career, the more obsessed I become. And then also we're going to talk about about the keto diet. And this is also quite obvious because of what I have just mentioned. But really, having a keto diet goes together with having an anti-cancer lifestyle. And I will dig in deep in this too in further episodes. And also we're going to be talking about womb health. So I'm not a womb health professional, care provider, like healthcare provider in the womb field. But with my personal experience in my womb health, I got so mad about the fact that there's so little known out there about this and so little that we can, what different practices we can do to have a healthy womb. I got so mad. So I started investigating and I started using my biomedical scientific background to learn about this. And my purpose with this is just to share the knowledge for other women out there that are completely lost regarding their womb and don't know what to do. This is my goal. This is what I want to do with womb health. It's just like share the knowledge for education and so that you know what exists and you can make your own decisions of what you want to do regarding your womb health. Also, something that I haven't mentioned about the keto diet. The keto diet that I like, it's not the strict one. A lot of people call it low carb, but for me, it's still the keto diet. And the reason for this is because I believe that there are a lot of fruits and vegetables that are super healthy for us, and they have anti-cancer properties and are full of antioxidants. So I really believe they should be part of our diet. However, they do have carbs. So they're not considered to be part of the keto strict diet. That's why they call it low carb diet. But for me, it's still really keto, because when you're in ketosis, you need to have, I think, if I remember correctly, it's 20 grams per day to break that ketosis. So I allow myself to have 20 grams of carbs per day because I want to have my lemon water. I want to have my berries. And I want to have my aubergine and my courgette. So really, there are some vegetables and fruits that I like to include in my keto diet just because I know how powerful they are for our health. So what I do with this, and I will talk a lot about this in other episodes, is to look at the nutritional value of the vegetables and the fruits that I'm interested in. And I make 10 grams of carbs per 100 grams, the maximum. So if it's higher than that, then I exclude that vegetable or fruit or whatever it is from my diet. Always keep it below 10 grams per 100 grams. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And then apart from this obvious health topics, we will be talking about self-love, self-care, self-improvement, self-development, stress, anxiety, yoga and meditation, because this is actually part of our health. There are so many practices that we are not aware the impact that they have in our health that I just became obsessed. I really love them. And I think they're really important to have them incorporated into our daily life. So we're going to be talking about these subjects as well as our feelings and our emotions and how to be aware of them and the healthy habits that we can do to improve our healthy lifestyle. And if you have been following me for a while, you already know that I have been repeating this sentence over and over again, is that you're the one waking up every day to keep on working, to keep on fighting, to keep on going through that bad situation that you're going through, to keep on doing whatever it is that you're doing to create and work on your life. So if you do not take care of yourself and you do not love yourself and you do not take moments for you, how are you going to do that right? Because if you do not take care of yourself, if you do not rest well, and you get to the point where you have chronic stress and burnout, you're not going to be able to do all the things that you want to do. So this is why this part, it's so important for us. And I just want to finish by saying everyone, absolutely everyone, is able and is entitled to live the life that they want. So it is never too late to start working on the things that you want to do and on living a life that you love. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. These are the topics that we're going to be talking about. I have a lot of solo episodes planned. We're going to dig in deep in all the topics that I just mentioned, but also I have a lot of guests that are going to be coming here to talk about this, and I could not be more excited. So I really hope that you like it and that you want to be part of it, and that also you share all your opinions and experiences from certain topics that we're going to talk about.